The fairy tale is cracking. The glitter, the castles, the royal titles, everything Meghan Markle once married into is now dangling by a thread. And insiders say she's not sticking around if it snaps. At the center of it all is Prince Harry, the man who gave it all up for love, and now he might be about to lose both the love and the last remnants of what he left behind. Sources close to the royal chaos say Meghan's made it painfully clear: no royal title, no marriage, and that's not coming from tabloids or clickbait headlines, it's coming straight from her own family. Thomas Markle Jr., Meghan's estranged half-brother, just reignited the media firestorm during a brutal TV appearance. According to him, Meghan's been playing chess while everyone else is busy watching the checkers board. She's watching Harry, she's watching The Crown. And if the shine fades, she's done, he said. Thomas didn't hold back. He believes Meghan is calling the shots, pulling strings, and that Harry, once the world's favorite royal rebel, is now just a passenger in the backseat of her PR vehicle. He's not the same guy, Thomas said. You can see it in his face. He's lost. And maybe he has. Prince Harry's public image has taken hit after hit. From his emotional interviews to his legal battles over security, the man who once had the world rooting for him now finds himself getting dragged online by people who once wore his face on t-shirts. His vulnerability is on full display, especially in his latest BBC interview where he admitted he's devastated, not just about security, but about how fractured everything has become. His father, King Charles, reportedly won't even speak to him, and Harry's pleading not for power but for peace. But Meghan? She's playing a very different game. Her lifestyle brand is booming. She's making appearances on red carpets, running her own show on Netflix, and quietly sending jam baskets to her billionaire friends, complete with notes signed Her Royal Highness. That little slip, that tiny HR printed on a card, sparked a fresh wave of outrage. Because Meghan agreed to drop that title, she knew the deal, and yet there it was, right back in the public eye. Was it just a nostalgic gesture or a not-so-subtle power move? Royal watchers didn't buy the Innocence Act. They saw it for what it was, a breach of an agreement made with Queen Elizabeth herself, and it couldn't have come at a worse time. Prince William is reportedly considering the nuclear option, stripping Harry and Meghan of their remaining titles for good. If that happens, insiders say, Meghan won't hesitate. She didn't walk away from royalty to end up titleless in Montecito. To her, being the Duchess isn't just about tiaras. It's her brand, her image, her leverage. Strip that away, and what's left? What's worse is the growing divide between Harry and Meghan themselves. Royal insiders, former staffers, and even tabloid whispers are all pointing to the same unsettling truth. The fairy dust is gone. They're rarely seen together. Meghan's flying solo on charity trips, hosting galas, and giving interviews. Meanwhile, Harry spent his 40th birthday surrounded by friends, with Meghan nowhere in sight. That's not just distance, that's a statement. Still, both camps are trying to hold the image together. Friends insist it's just career moves, not relationship cracks, but even they can't deny the silence. When you're famous, sometimes what you don't say is louder than anything you could post. And the silence between Meghan and Harry? It's practically screaming. Public sympathy used to be Harry and Meghan's secret weapon. They had a narrative people could rally behind. Two outsiders taking on an ancient, outdated institution. But lately, that support is evaporating, and fast. British voters are making their stance loud and clear. In a recent poll, a staggering 97% of respondents said King Charles should pull the plug, strip Harry of his Duke title once and for all. That's not just disapproval. That's rejection on a national scale. It's not hard to see why. To many Brits, Harry's been riding a wave of royal perks while constantly bashing the family he came from. From his memoir to his Netflix series to the endless interviews, each one dragged up old wounds and painted the monarchy in an even worse light. And now, after losing his appeal for taxpayer-funded security, Harry's latest interview didn't just fall flat, it lit a fuse. Why should we pay for this? One Londoner asked. He left. That was his choice. But this isn't just about money or security. It's about identity. Harry may have ditched the palace, but he never truly let go of the title. And Meghan? She may have physically walked away from royal life, but her actions suggest she's still got one hand on the crown. The HR incident, that controversial jam basket note, wasn't just a slip-up. It was a message. Whether it was meant for the public, for Buckingham, or for Harry himself, it hit all three. The royals took notice. Behind the palace walls, Prince William is reportedly livid. For him, it's not just about protocol, it's personal. After everything Meghan and Harry said about Kate, especially during her recent health struggles, William's patience is gone. One source close to the family put it bluntly, "If my wife had been treated the way Kate was, I'd come down just as hard." The gloves are off and William's not holding back anymore. Then there's the elephant in the room, divorce rumors. Whispers that started as tabloid bait are now being echoed by insiders and royal commentators. Sources say Meghan and Harry are no longer just growing apart in public, they're preparing for it in private. It's not screaming matches or dramatic exits, it's quiet meetings, solo travel, and separate schedules. Meghan is making strategic appearances, brand deals, and networking plays. Harry is focusing on legal fights, interviews, and memoir fallout. Their lives are unfolding on different tracks. And yet their team still pushes the fairy tale. PR statements insist all is well. Friends claim they're just career scrumptious and supporting each other's goals. But when Meghan is hosting Netflix segments and Harry is giving somber interviews about not speaking to his father, it starts to feel less like support and more like damage control. One royal expert described it as controlled separation, not a divorce, not yet, but a blueprint for how to split without saying the word. And it's not just a matter of love or loyalty, it's business. Together they are the Sussex brand. But that brand is wobbling. Public support is plummeting, royal ties are fraying, and even Hollywood isn't as enchanted anymore. Meghan's solo glow-ups aren't translating to power moves like they used to. Harry's confessional moments aren't landing with the same empathy. It's a slow unraveling. What's left is a couple trying to navigate power, fame, and identity in a spotlight that never dims. And in the background, the royal family watches closely, ready to strike the final blow if pushed. All eyes are on Charles and William, but maybe the real decision lies with Meghan, because if those titles vanish, she might too. Royal insiders are bracing for what some are calling the final act in this saga, a moment where everything the Sussexes have built either crumbles or reinvents itself. And it all circles back to Meghan. Her next move might determine not just the fate of her marriage, but the future of the entire Sussex brand. The Duchess, who once took the world stage by storm, is now facing a strange paradox. She's never been more visible, yet her influence has never felt more uncertain. One major flashpoint came with Meghan's new Netflix cooking show. What should have been a breezy, upbeat reintroduction to her public image turned into a headline grabber for all the wrong reasons. During a seemingly lighthearted exchange with guest Mindy Kaling, Meghan gently corrected her for calling her Meghan Markle. "You know I'm Sussex now," she said with a smile. Viewers may have brushed it off as banter, but behind palace doors, it hit like a thunderclap. William, insiders say, was absolutely livid. To him, it was yet another example of Meghan refusing to let go of the royal clout, one she publicly renounced. The tension between image and reality has never been starker. Meghan's playing Duchess on screen, while Harry is left defending their choices off screen. His BBC interview was raw, even heartbreaking at times. He spoke about missing his homeland, wishing for reconciliation, and feeling completely shut out by the people he once called family. He even admitted the king refuses to speak to him and said he's stopped asking for help. That's not a prince throwing a tantrum, that's a man unraveling. Yet not everyone's buying the vulnerability act. Piers Morgan, never one to hold back, launched into a brutal takedown after the interview aired. He called Harry delusional, a pathetic little brat, and said the prince should be stripped of his title immediately. The British media pounced, echoing Morgan's sentiments and fueling the firestorm. For many, it was confirmation that the public had finally turned on Harry for good. Meanwhile, back in California, even the couple's closest circle can't seem to control the leaks. One insider revealed that Meghan has been quietly laying the groundwork for a post-Harry narrative, one where she stands independently as a businesswoman, activist, and cultural figure, not as a duchess. Not even as a wife, just Meghan. And it's a narrative some say she's been inching toward for months. Photos of them together are rare. Their public interactions feel stiff, curated, almost transactional. Meghan's focusing on her brand. Harry's wrapped up in legal appeals and emotional interviews. There's no shared path forward, just two solo journeys, diverging from the same starting point. Still, neither has made the first official move. No divorce filings, no major announcements, because despite the headlines, ending a royal marriage isn't simple. There are titles, properties, contracts, foundations, and millions tied up in every decision. One wrong move could shatter everything, and yet doing nothing might be just as costly. What they face now isn't just a marital crisis, it's a public reckoning. The fairy tale, as polished as it once was, has faded. What remains is a complicated, high-stakes game of optics, power, and pride. Meghan may have once dreamed of a crown, and Harry may have once dreamed of freedom, but somewhere along the way they lost the script. As the royal institution stands firm and public support crumbles, the Sussexes are left with a question only they can answer. Was it ever really about love, or was it about leverage? Because soon they might have to choose, not between each other, but between holding on and letting go.